Hi everyone, my name is Enda and this is the Yarn in the Restless. And it's been a while since I sat down and made one of these videos, but here I am. If you are new here, I have cats and one of them has the zoomies right now. Hi, are you okay? Boop. So you'll probably hear or see them run around. She doesn't usually run around like that, but when she does, it's really funny. So yeah, it's been 5 or 6 weeks since I sat down and did a recording and talked about my projects. And I usually have so many things to talk about, and guess what? I don't. I have been focusing mostly on a cardigan that I'm planning on getting into testing hopefully by the end of this month. And there she goes. All right, so I have a cardigan that I've been working on and I've been focusing on it, and that's very unlike me. I usually have, do I need to start over again? Is the noise a lot? I usually have like 10 projects going on, and I'll talk about them and then you may never see them again on here because I never touch them again. I love starting projects. I like beginning, middle, and then I don't always finish things. Hi, bye. But I have been really focused on this cardigan that I'm trying to get out into the world. I also really want to wear it. I love it. I am working in collaboration with the Fiber Co, who sent me yarn support for it, using their and make line, the DK version. Is that how you would say that? And I'm almost done. I have one more sleeve and like the pockets and some finishing, and then it's ready. Here it is. Just a side note, I haven't, it hasn't felt like the right time to sit down and do this, and it felt like the right time today, this afternoon, even though like I just kind of got out of the shower, my hair's still wet, and I'm kind of like not as ready as I usually am when I sit down, but who cares? So anyways, here is my cardigan. This will be folded down and whip stitched into place, but that's just where that ended. It'll be like this. And there are pockets. I put a vertical steek here and on the other side, so they'll have pockets. Whoop. I just haven't put them in yet. And overall, I love the shape. I love the positive ease. I love the colors. I love this yarn. I just, you know, they didn't ask me to talk about the yarn at all, and I don't think they know that I even have a YouTube channel, but the yarn is amazing. And I think typically when you ask for yarn support, you would have used that yarn before and known its properties, and like that's why you wanted to use it. And I had never used this yarn before, and there's a little bit of a gamble, and honestly it like slipped my mind that there was linen in it. I've never used a animal and plant fiber blend for color work, so I was a little scared at first, but it's amazing and I highly recommend. That's what it looks like on the inside. Well, let me show the inside this way. Cool. I love seeing the inside of color work. Yeah, so I didn't bring a ball out, but I think it's a wool alpaca linen blend. I'm just like slightly uncertain when saying that if the alpaca is actually in there and it's just wool and linen, but I think there's alpaca in it too. And I love alpaca. It's so soft. And here we are. I finished this other sleeve, finished the pockets, and then instead of buttons, there will be an I-cord tie closure. That's what this means. So yeah, I want to get this into testing by the end of this month. So if you're interested in this, and if you want to see better views of it instead of the way I just tried to show it, you can definitely see my work in progress photos on my Instagram, which is linked below. Yeah, testing call hopefully by the end of this month, maybe, I don't know, maybe in like the 20s of this month, for potentially the release of the pattern in beginning to mid-April, which is just the time frame that I had in mind. So that's that, and I've been putting all my focus into that. I think I've done collaborations with Fibercone specifically before, but with socks, and it felt different. It felt less, I don't know why it felt less risky, because they sent me like 2 skeins of yarn, and of course I was going to follow through and do the work that I presented to them. But in like the worst case scenario, if I never did, like, I don't know, 2 skeins of yarn equals X amount of dollars, but this amount of yarn for a cardigan is significantly more. So I've been like, oh my gosh, they've trusted me and they sent me 10 balls of yarn, and I must do like the best work I've ever done. And I can't wait to let go of some of that and finish it and show them and be done with it almost. I also really want to wear it, but yeah, where was I going with that? Oh, that's partly why I've been so focused on it and just really, really tunnel vision on this project, which has been really fun and great for me, especially being someone that loves casting on new things. But after I finished that sleeve, it was early one morning before I went to work, and I can't bring that project to work with me, and I do sometimes have time to knit or crochet at work in between clients coming in between sessions. So I brought some sock yarn to work and started crocheting. If you've been here a while, you may know that I have designed quite a few pairs of socks, and I'm a little burnt out on socks. I don't want to knit a sock for a long time, even though I have a sock project here that's moving really, really slowly. But I do have a lot of sock yarn, and I want to make, what am I trying to say? I want to make tank top, small tops out of wool, and I don't want them to be bulky. So the sock yarn is turning into like camisole tank yarn. Anyways, I started crocheting this yesterday, and I cannot believe how much is there. It's like kind of wriggly, but I think it'll block out. I've never crocheted with wool. For some reason, I've always crocheted with plant fibers or acrylic, and I've just associated crocheting with that type of yarn, which is really strange to me. And one of my friends has been crocheting. I think they know how to knit, but they mostly crochet. And what am I saying? They've been crocheting with wool, and it's inspired me to do the same. So I started this front panel yesterday, and I can't believe how fast it's going. I personally it's coming out exactly the way I envisioned, even if it does look strange. Like, I know where it's going, so please trust the process. This is how big it is now, but I am going to go back and crochet like around this way and make it longer. And of course, I'm going to continue to work that way out to the halfway point of my body. But look at this yarn. Wow, I got a new phone. If you can tell, like, we're in cinematic mode. And the way that it focuses, I've never had that in any of my videos. And the way my face is blurred out. Hello, thank you. Okay, great. That's nice. These are the two yarns that I'm using. I'm gonna see it focus again. Wow, look at me. It went from an iPhone 10, I don't know what it was, I think it was an iPhone 10, to a 15, and I just feel like, wow. That's amazing. My phone never did that before. Anyways, thank you for indulging me in that moment. This is the front panel. Crochet is so fast. How did this happen? I'm using single crochet for everything, which is kind of strange. I pulled out my crochet stitch books and I was like planning on, I was planning on having this front panel in the middle be lace or mesh, and I got like really fed up looking at the books and was like, you know what? No, I'm just gonna do everything in single crochet. Which maybe after I'm done and I'm wearing it, I will know or think of different stitches that I want to use for other ones in the future. But a fun, quick, for me, in between project. And I'm loving these colors. I love like the modular aspect of it. I think I can get really bored of back and forth or something like on a panel, and it's been really fun thinking of shapes that I can like puzzle piece together into panels, and for some reason that feels really forgiving with crochet, so it feels fun to like experiment like that, and that's what I'm doing. So there's that. I thought this video was gonna be like this length in total. We're at like 13 minutes, but for somehow I have talked so long about nothing. That was a sip of my coffee. Last video, 5 or 6 weeks ago, I had started the Earth and Air, what do you call that? Is it a sweater or a top? The Earth and Air by James and Watts. And it was my first time doing brioche. It's also 2-color brioche in 2 different weights, which is really cool. And I have kind of stopped working on this, but I do think that it's bigger than it was. I know it's bigger than it was the last video. So this is how much I have. You can tell, like, I can tell even this, I don't know what just happened with my mouth. I can tell from far away that I messed up here. There are a few mess ups. Maybe that'll be the back, huh? I don't know how to fix brioche when you mess up. I just go with it. I just got a notification, which, oops, I forgot to turn my phone on Do Not Disturb when I record, that someone bought a sock pattern, and I was just talking about how I never want to make them again. Here's that. I'm really short, so I don't need that much body length, and typically I use that as an excuse to split front and back sooner than I would like. And so I feel like I'm at that point where I'm like, that's long enough. But I want to continue for a couple more inches, like 1 or 2 more inches. Two or 3 more inches, not 1. That's ridiculous. Before I split. You can see though, like I'm very short-waisted. Excuse me, you can't just steal my spot. But we're getting there, getting close. This is the yarn that I'm using. This is an undyed yarn that I got from a farm, not like in person, that I ordered from a farm in West Virginia that like their website's gone and their Etsy's gone. Like, I don't know what happened to them. Is the farm still there? I don't know, but I was buying a lot of yarn from them a few years ago when I was getting into natural dyeing, which I don't really even do anymore. Not that I won't ever again, but it just smells extra sheepy being undyed. I don't know where I got this, but it's a silk mohair blend. All right, that's that. Moving on, here is the sock project I was talking about. I just like that my phone focuses. You don't need to really see this up close. Where's the other needle? Here's the yarn. This is Wool of the Andes, and I don't know where I never know where I get what brand the mohair is. I don't know, but it's also a silk mohair blend. And I think last episode was the episode I showed the socks that I made for a family member. They were like pinkish purple, and it was a sock weight. This is worsted weight held with mohair. So a sock weight yarn with mohair, and they're really fuzzy and luxurious. Well, I told her husband, my other family member, that I would make him a pair too. And his birthday just passed, and I'm visiting them next week, and I was like, I'll definitely have the pair ready for him. I'm gonna use worsted weight. It's gonna go by so fast. And I did do this in like one sitting, and I haven't come back to it. So I don't think he's gonna have his socks by next week. But when he does get them, they'll be really soft and nice. Cool. And I see him wearing these colors a lot, so I think this will be really perfect. Just like last time with the other pair of socks, I see her wearing those colors a lot, so hopefully that's all a win. I feel bad that I didn't finish them for his birthday, but I just got like really burnt out on the sock journey. But he'll have them. He will have them one day. Okay, last thing to show is another design in the works. It's really in the early stages that I feel really excited to be working with Spin Cycle. That's a yarn company that I like have dreamt of designing with, and getting yarn support from them is like, it's amazing. I don't know how to even describe it. I'm getting all weird. It feels really good. I definitely, when I sent my proposal to them, I definitely thought it was a no, because it took, which is totally fine, it took like over a month for them to get back to me. But when they did, they were like, yes, of course, and they just sent me the yarn for the vest that I'm designing. And how cool is that? I meant to bring out like a full skein that I haven't wound up, but this is the yarn. Look how beautiful this color. I guess I can tell you about it. This yarn, oh yeah, is a collaboration between the Farmer's Daughter Fibers and Spin Cycle called the Spinster's Daughter. It's a sport weight and it's superwash American wool in the color. I love their color names. They're like kind of, I was gonna say out there, queer-ish. I don't know. This color is called Daddy's State of Mind, which that's fun. And it's just like juicy and fun. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked by just like the ability to like focus on different things with this phone. So I guess I should just show you, huh? It's been a long wait. It's not even that much to show. It'll be a full texture. No, well, it'll be a vest that has textured panels. And I'm working on the back panel now. These are the saddle shoulders. Yeah. So instead of like putting it on my back, I'm gonna put it this way, right? Yeah. So it'll be like this, but of course this is the back panel. So we have honeycomb on, what is this part of the body called? On the shoulder. And then, what is that? Oh, and then there are these arrow cables pointing down. And then in the middle again, which you can't tell right now, there's gonna be, honeycomb shoulders, honeycomb down the center here, and then 2 arrow cables coming down on the front and the back. But this is as far as I've gotten. It's still really cool. Excited about this. It doesn't take a lot of brain power from me, but it's not like when I'm working on this cardigan over here, when I need a break from it, this isn't a break from it. This is its own workload of reading the charts and doing the cables, but I do find it really, really fun and magical seeing textured work come to life, especially coming from being someone that loves color work. This has been really fun and different. I've only done, is that true? 1 or 2 textured things before. I have a textured pair of socks that I released with Fiberco, which I think you can still get kits on their website. Like you can see that sock kit on the Fiberco website. And then I forgot about that. Here we go with like whips that are languishing over there. I have a textured cardigan that's pretty close to being done. I forgot all about that. The body's done, and I just need to finish the sleeves and the, you know what I mean? The neckband, button band. Oh, I missed that project. Let's not think about it because I have so much to do. Anyways, texture is fun. It's kind of new to me. It's a different experience that I really enjoy. And I just feel like really, really grateful that Spin Cycle said yes to me, and it feels validating. Like I really do want knitting to become a bigger part of my career. Right now, which I love my job very much, I work as a tattoo artist and I work in the shop a couple days a week, so I do have like a really big amount of time for the rest of the week to be, I'm also a painter, to be knitting or painting. And since I began knitting, that's like all I want to do. That's all I'm doing. So turning it into a career has been scary, but also like I'm gonna knit anyway, so I'm gonna designing, how am I gonna say this? As soon as I started knitting, I started designing. So those two have been together. I understand that there are people that knit and they don't have any desire to design and they knit from patterns, and I have a really hard time knitting from patterns. It's just not fun for me, and that's okay. So making it, what am I saying? The yes I get from yarn companies when I submit a design proposal validates my desire and thought process of being a more full-time designer in the foreseeable future, is what all I'm saying. It just feels really good, and I'm really, really grateful. Yeah, that's all I got. This is a shorter video, which is great. It won't take a lifetime to upload. Usually they're about like an hour. So that's all I have for now. Next time I come on here, I will probably most likely have the test call for this cardigan. So if you like it, if you know someone that would like it and wants to test it, please do so. Maybe I shouldn't say because it's not, I don't know, but for sure I have it written down. The size range will go from, and when I say bust measurement, I mean like the widest measurement. So if you're making a garment and your hips and you want it to cover or like hit your hips, and your hips are wider than your bust, like you need to use the widest measurement of your torso. But it's just usually listed as a bust measurement, which I'm trying to think of different ways that I can write that where because there's no waist shaping. So if your bust is smaller than your hips and you want your garment to hit your hips or slightly below it, like you need to use your hip measurement. So widest measurements will go from this is, I don't know, this is just an estimate because I have it written down and I don't know what it is. Do I have that nearby? I'm not getting that. Somewhere between 32 and 75 inches, which, sorry, I don't know what that is in centimeters, but it will be written in the tester call, and on all of the information will be in both imperial and metric. Okay, that's all I got. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sticking around. And as always, I'd really like to hear about what you're making, or if you like this cardigan, if you're excited about anything I'm making. And lastly, I almost forgot, I wanted to do this in the beginning of the video. I just want to touch base, say that how do I go about this? My very first video I made on here, in the intro also stated my pronouns, and I am non-binary. I use they, them, and that's just that. I know I present very feminine, or at some degree of feminine based on how you view it. And that doesn't define me as a person. The way I do my makeup or my hair or what I wear does not define me as a person. It's just how I feel comfortable in this body, which varies. And my very first video, I opened stating that, and I got a few comments that were just like really negative, and I just blocked those people immediately. But I do think it's important for me, especially just doing this for fun, that I come here authentically and myself, because otherwise why am I doing this? It's not very fun. And I want that to be known. It's not a big deal. And if you, I mean, I don't understand, when I got those comments in the first video, I understood that that was a big possibility that would happen. I just really don't understand why it matters. Like, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of people on here. Maybe not, I don't know. There are just thousands of knitting videos that you could watch. And if you need that person to be a woman, there's lots more out there that you can watch. I don't identify as a woman, and I don't think that means I deserve negative feedback from strangers. And yeah, I want that to be known. I don't want to be afraid to come as my authentic self and make these videos knowing that people are perceiving me a certain way, which, even knowing this information, you may still perceive me as a cis woman, and you may use she her for me, and whatever, that's life. I mean, just know it's not accurate. And that's okay. So I just wanted to point that out and put that out there, not point it out, and not be afraid of doing so, and reiterate that it's really not a big deal how I present, and I'm just telling you so you know, and whether or not you feel like that's information you care about is totally up to you. So with that, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I hope you are all taking care of yourselves and continue to be kind to one another. Bye.